Kimberly Thomason here with Vac MD, and if your Oreck is blowing dirt and not picking it up, I have the solution for you. This video we're going to talk about Classic Orecks. This happens to be a commercial. The Elevate series, if you have an XL21 or any type of XL. This does not include the magnesium. They're a little bit different. You might be able to watch this and kind of get an idea of where to look on your magnesium, but right now this is just for some Classic Orecks, the Elevate series, and your XL21. If you have an Oreck Vacuum and you find that it is blowing out dirt instead of sucking up dirt, there are several places I'm going to show you how to check for a clog, because most of the time that's what the issue is. The first thing I'm going to have you do is plug in your vacuum. How much I miss not knowing. The reason why I'm showing you this on the Elevate series as well as the Classic will be like your XL21s and any of your XL models, but the Elevate series has this hard outer bag, and they also have different screws underneath, so that makes it a little bit different to get into. And I also found that the Elevate series is harder to visually see right away a clog. So I'm going to show you the first thing you want to look for to see if you have a clog is if your outer bag, but in the Elevate series case you can't tell, when you plug these in, your outer bag should fill up like a balloon. But because the Elevate model does not have such a cloth outer bag, it has more of a foam outer bag, you won't be able to tell that. I have to unzip it to see if your inner bag fills up like a balloon. When I turn this on, this inner bag should puff out very quickly, so let's see. That's what you should be looking for. If yours only puffs up a little, this one is not clogged. So if yours only puffs up a little, or it slowly takes time to puff up, then you know that it might have a clog in it. Now, there are some exceptions to that rule. Let me quickly show you also what it would look like on this guy. So this is your Classic model. When it's time, this should be nice and solid and puff up like a balloon. That's the first thing to look for. The second thing you want to check is underneath in the brush roll area. In the brush roll area, there is a hole behind the brush roll. Typically, you just see a wall of dirt, so you don't realize it's clogged, or you don't realize there should be a hole there. So you want to get back behind into there to clean out the dust and dirt or the clog. The best way to do that is to access it by taking the base plate off. And I will show you how to take both base plates off, because they're a little bit different in the Elevate series than they are in the Classic series, to get into that intake. Once you're in there, you can also check for clogs inside the fan housing. The next place you want to check is back here. Both vacuums or both types of models will have some way to access the back tubing. You want to look all through this tubing. You want to look down into the fan housing, and the way to do that is first you have to detach your outer bag, otherwise you'll have issues. You will unscrew the cuff. You can also unscrew this cuff if you want to access it better. I'm just going to show you one, but they both unscrew the same way. And then you're going to pull this out. So that wasn't terribly hard. Sometimes I have to put it on the ground and really put my foot on it and pull it up. But that will give me access into this hole, and that will tell me if there is debris or a clog obstruction right there. Also, when you're here, you can wipe off this seal and wipe out any dust or debris that might be up inside here. That's good to do. If you've cleared out a clog from here, also check inside here. And then the last place to always check, and typically if there is a clog up here where I'm about to show you, then there is more clogging throughout the tubing, so check there too. But sometimes you'll just see a bunch of dirt stuck right there. A lot of times we see carpeting stuck right there. Carpet's light and it doesn't always get pushed through well, and sometimes it gets pushed through so well that it just backs up, because it's like sucking a milkshake through a straw. It's hard for it all to get through at once. So a lot of times there'll be a clog right there. You pull that out You can use a vacuum and suction, another type of vacuum, and suction out your clog. Typically, like I said, if there is a clog here, there is more in your tubing, so make sure you check your tubing as well. And just so you can see, your Elevate model is the same. It has 2 cuffs here that you can undo. There is a way that this bag attaches at the bottom that you also have to undo. You can access all of this tubing just like you accessed on the Classic. This is the model that it's a little bit different to open it up, and you will need a special tool. We will link that below as well. Let's talk about some of the tools you'll need. On the Classic Oreck, you're going to need a screwdriver, a regular Phillips head screwdriver. However, it needs to be a little bit deeper because the holes on the Oreck are a little bit deeper. And on your Elevate model series, you're going to need a T20 bit, screwdriver, bit, whatever, because they are those fun star screws. Something you can also get is one of these zip-its. These are great for getting up into places where you may not be able to access yourself, or if you don't have a screwdriver, these will help unclog a vacuum without having to open it. All right, so most Classic Orecks will have regular Phillips screws. This is a new commercial unit. It has T20 star screws, just like your Elevate series. But again, the Elevate series is taken apart differently. There's a timestamp in the description if you want to fast forward to the Elevate series. All right, so there's 5 screws, and then the base plate will come off. You do not have to touch these screws, ever on any Oreck ever. You do not have to touch those screws. You touch the 5 that are 3 in front, 2 in back on this model. Then you have your vacuum cleaner inside, and you can see here is your intake. This is what you're trying to find out, where is the clog. So typically you see a bunch of dust right there. You could take needle nose pliers, or you can take tweezers, and you can unclog it right there. This is also an opportunity to see if it went a little bit deeper. I don't want you to take this apart. You can if you want, and you can get all the way in there, but to make it more basic, try to get in to here as much as you can, and then go access this part from this side as well. The intake you're looking for on all these vacuums, I just noticed that the Elevate wasn't as easy to see. Some of these you can see from the outside, or you can see when the base plate is on. You can kind of turn your brush roll and see where that intake is. Sometimes you don't have to take the base plate off. All right, so now you have your Elevate series. It's a little bit different. Again, T20 on the tool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws on the Elevate. You do not have to touch these at all, and you'll know that because they don't have the T20 head. This base plate comes off a little bit different. It's much deeper, and you can see it goes out, like this whole piece is part of the base plate. Make sure you have all of your screws removed. This base plate is a little more difficult to get apart. You kind of have to pry it from a couple different areas, but I usually always pull from the wheels, and you'll know if you don't have a screw all the way out because it will not release. And then here you have your Elevate series, and you have your intake right behind there to check. Same thing, you can use your zip-it. You can take it apart to get into this fan housing. I highly recommend you do not take it apart more than this. However, if you want it to be easier next time, you can either switch out these screws for regular screws, as long as you have similar screws, and that way you can use a regular screwdriver. Oreck does not make it easy for you to get in these. I wish they put the regular screws in like they used to. I hope this video was helpful and it helped you solve your problem with your Oreck. If not, comment below. We can try to help, or send us a text. Don't forget to subscribe. When you do, it helps a small business. You'll see more videos like this and other fun videos as well. We thank you again for watching. Have a great day.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness.
Jeez.